This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Strong opening. Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, October 28th. I'm Tori. I'm here with Al. Good to see you.
Hello.
Good to see you. And Lindsay Granger joins us from home. Lindsay, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you guys doing?
We're doing okay. Let's get right to it because you might have heard this about the looting and the demonstrations in Philadelphia. If you're in Philly or Pennsylvania, please write us in. It is all over the police shooting of Walter Wallace Jr. So for a second night now, Philly has been just torn apart with demonstrators confronting police and multiple stores being looted. Police said that the situation last night had rapidly gone downhill and that some areas were just a total loss. Now, let me tell you the story so you know the background. This is 27-year-old Wallace Jr. He was killed on Monday by 2 police officers. Now, Wallace suffered from mental health issues, and police have been called multiple times that day and was explained to them that he had mental health problems and that he was having an episode. He was shot 14 times by officers. Video of the shooting did go viral. We do want to give a warning to our viewers. This is graphic. Take a look.
Yo, watch my wood. Yo, this crazy out here. Oh! Oh! Oh!
I am going to keep reading. I just needed a breath. Wallace's family is speaking out against the looting and the violence. They're also questioning the use of force by police, wondering why they didn't use a taser. Excuse me. Take a look.
Does everybody have any respect for my family and my son to stop this violence and chaos was going on in the city?
Yes, I was telling the police to stop. Don't shoot my son. Please don't shoot my son.
The man was suffering. He was on doctor's care. He was on a regimen of lithium. It's emotionally taxing to think about how you could call for assistance and wind up with the people who you called killing you. I can't even conceive the concept.
Okay, so not an easy story to do. Lindsay, what are police officers supposed to do if they don't have tasers? We're now learning that not every officer in that area was given a taser. They all were given guns. They weren't all given tasers. But what are they supposed to do if someone's coming at them in somewhat of a manic episode? What did you think?
I think we need mental health professionals on the scene. As you can see, the mother was screaming for help and for the police not to kill her son. Her main goal was de-escalation, which is why they were called. And I wish that the police cared about de-escalation as much as his family members and his mother did. And when people continuously talk about these riots, sure, we're never saying that riots are the way to go, but they're clearly easy to understand. I mean, police have been on the attack of black people since they were created, its inception. So if you look at the historical context of police in the South, they were slave patrol, catching and killing black people. So if we're talking about what's going on right now, we're not putting the right people in place to protect black people. Why would people not be upset? What would you have them do in Philadelphia? They're really at a tipping point. Even I look at the story, I couldn't watch the video. We're watching the same thing happen over and over again and nothing getting done, which is why I continuously say it was my #1 issue, because this is not going to stop happening until we really change the system and change all that it's built upon.
Well said. And Al, you know, we talk about defunding the police, and I think that was branded so terribly because it's not defunding, it's reallocating, right? It's moving money to where there could be a mental health advocate who could have come up there and understand this man is clearly in a manic state. But is it the organization of the police or is it those cops' fault, Al? I want to see what you think about that.
Well, the reason that Lindsay and myself and the people of Philadelphia and the people of all over are upset about this is because it ends like this, but we could have stopped this at the beginning. This is a mental health issue. I went down the Walter Wallace rabbit hole. This young man is unfortunately had to have the police call on him many times from his family members because they were in fear because he was experiencing, he had lost a thread. He was having a mental health break and he needed help. I interviewed a doctor, a social worker on this show that was saying that she was able to de-escalate, social workers are able to de-escalate 75% of the mental health calls that they get. This young man, from what just my non-educated opinion, should not have even been on the street from what I read that he had done in the past. This man needed to be somewhere medicated under a doctor's care. And when negligence happens at the top, it trickles down to where we saw what we saw on that street. The police, I've listened to what the police commissioner had to say. I listened to what former officers had to say. They did the whole, we have to review the footage some more, but they said if a man with a knife is approaching, he can close the distance quickly, so they weren't ready to castigate him yet. But I'm saying before we get to that point, Lindsay, this young man, this family had been calling saying this man needs help and nothing was done. And that's my frustration. And now it leads to his father on CNN with Chris Cuomo last night. And when they asked about his son, his first thing was like, please stop looting. That's not what my son's name and his life and his legacy needs to be about. So it's just a sad situation all around.
Yeah, I mean, we don't advocate looting. We're against rioting. We're upset about all of that. But the frustration of seeing this again and again, some of you just wrote in, I'm just so numb about this. We seem to do these stories over and over again. It seems like if this system of the police, I'm not pointing out specific cops. I'm really not. I'm not saying all cops are bad even. I'm saying if this system continually happens, there's a pattern, and perhaps you should dismantle the system itself and reallocate it.
But instead of calling 911, Lindsay, what do you think about having another number? Like if you're going to dig on your property, I think you call 311.
Right, like 988 or something.
Why wouldn't you call something if somebody's having a mental health issue that a mental health professional would come over rather than guys with guns?
There's a bill in Congress, I believe, for that. Linz, what's your take on that?
I mean, we can go into layers about how the family was protecting themselves with somebody mentally ill in the home. As somebody with a mentally ill family member, you know, I understand that there's not just the easy solution of let's put them in a home or let's be able to afford this care that's proper and the right care for somebody that is suffering from mental illness. So just to say that the family should be, you know, he went through other instances of mental health issues, of course, yes, he did. But we need somebody to speak to reach out to that can come protect them and fix the situation. Maybe a healthcare system or something that will protect people like this, as opposed to police coming out and killing them when the mother was really crying and literally crying for help.
Yeah, it was really hard to watch. Please write us in if you're in Pennsylvania or Philly to let us know a firsthand account. We'll keep you updated on this story. Now, this is a very hard turn, and I want to just acknowledge that. We do have to give a big DBL shout out for the LA Dodgers. Yes, for the 32 years, the Dodgers are the World Series champions, beating out the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 6. It is a huge win for the team and for all the Dodgers fans out there. And this is pretty crazy. Third baseman Justin Turner, okay, that's he right there in the red hair. He got pulled from the game in the 7th inning after his coronavirus test came back positive. But he was back on the field after the big win for the team photograph. And check this out. He removed his mask for the photo. First off, I want to give a big congratulations to Los Angeles. They're having a heck of a year. LA Lakers, LA Dodgers. I watched the game. I love LA, so bravo. Big win. But this Justin Turner, why are we getting the positive test 7th inning in, Al?
I think that was strange, and I think that was just, as they call that, the CYA, you know, to make sure that, like, hey, we told him, so if he stayed or he came back out, that's not on our organization anymore. But
7th inning doesn't do anything.
What if we find out that somebody eventually gets really sick from this? I mean, people are out there yelling, they're exasperated. Is it better it's outside? Yes, but he was sitting next to an older gentleman in that picture. So I just worry about now we're just kind of all getting used to this, like, hey, you know, Al might have it, whatever.
Test.
Yeah.
Right. Lindsay, what do you think about this? I mean, we're super excited for Los Angeles. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. And it seems odd he wouldn't have gotten a test before the game.
Right, it's such a weird time. I read a message LeBron James put out on social media yesterday, like, can we please have a parade for all the celebrations that are in order? Because some of these experiences are really once in a lifetime for a lot of these people. But I think we have to protect people more importantly than celebrating, which is a really tough thing because their whole life was looking towards winning at the highest level, which they have.
Exactly right.
This is a big win for them, and they totally deserve it. And I always feel bad for the other team. Good job, Tampa Bay Rays. You tried hard.
And are we going to tell our viewers that you watched the game?
I did watch the game. I did.
How many innings?
There was 9. Top of the 9th. A man named Mr. Pitcher. Lindsay, stick around. No, Kurosawa, and also
Kershaw. Kurosawa is something you put on Thai food.
Okay. Coming up on DBL, people love getting creative with their Halloween decorations, but do these stripper skeletons cross the line? Can't wait to hear this response. Plus, we're chatting with the first Black Real Housewife of New York, Eboni K. Williams. And as we go to break, we got to thank our coworkers who are taking the pandemic seriously and working from home. There was also like a Jones pitcher, a Johnson, a Smith.
You're just going through the phone book.
Urias, a Brady.
Wow.
Along with the most honest and entertaining talk in daytime, DBL is telling stories that matter.
In a way, you're kind of admitting that you are not proud or happy with yourself.
From a woman who began bleaching her skin as a teenager to a model who made the choice to amputate both of her legs.
We are so proud of you.
Tiger King's Carol Baskin answers the questions everyone wants to know.
Oh my God. Well, you know, there was like a hitman that was hired to kill me.
And nothing's off limits with Nancy Grace.
Guess what, little girl? You're gonna be charged with murder too.
In DBL's True Crime Chronicles, the origin story of the Amber Alert. And in Freedom Files, Wrongfully Convicted, a woman spends 17 years in prison for killing her son, but she didn't do it.
You don't get to wake up from it and realize that it was just a dream.
Also, a world-renowned psychic gives us a reading you have to see to believe. And our favorite mentalist, Wayne Hoffman, absolutely blows our minds.
What is it? Okay, I'm gonna need some purity water over me.
With all of that, and the election, the pandemic.
That is insane to me.
We have a lot to talk about. So join our conversation every day this November on DBL. We look so good, don't we? Cool. All right, welcome back to DBL. A woman in Texas is going head-to-head with her homeowners association over her risque Halloween display. So it's modeled after an adult nightclub with the skeletons posing as strippers. Her candy strippers at the candy shop display has been attracting a lot of attention from the ghouls and the boys in the yard. Oh, I get it. The ghouls and the boys.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Better late than never. Welcome to the show.
That's a good rhyme. And her HOA, they've given her 30 days to take it down. She says that's enough time to keep it up for Halloween.
That's
Wait,
ridiculous.
That's so true.
Okay. But so maybe that's their way of saying we're honoring our protocol, but we're allowing you to keep it up. Lindsay, do you agree?
I mean, 30 days, we're basically in December. I don't get the point of that. That's kind of weird, but I definitely like the display. I also am on the panel with no kids, so I think that it would probably be obnoxious if I was walking around with a 2-year-old and they're seeing fake stripper bones, but you know, I think it's funny.
Hold up, and Lindsay, can I say this? Why are we assuming it's a strip club? There are a million pole dancing places
She called it.
that you go to work
No, but she
out.
called it a candy stripper. She called it the candy strippers. So
that could be the name of the pole dancing place. I'm looking at it as like a.
There was
just
even a
sports
bouncer there.
element.
They had a bouncer.
Some people, they don't want people in the pole dancing place.
Your argument is invalid. Okay, next you might want to re-examine that Halloween decor in your own home. I know Lindsay is not going to like this at all. Police in Tennessee say a skull that was found sitting on a fireplace mantle wearing sunglasses is actually the remains of a missing man. DNA tests revealed the skull belonged to a 79-year-old who vanished in 2012. The police don't know how long it's been on the mantle, but they say he was possibly killed by a family member who has also passed away. Lindsay?
Fun stuff.
Come on, man. This just ruined that. The other story was good. This one just pretty much ruined my day.
I have a good story that's not a bummer. I was walking with my girl.
What is that? Why didn't we start on this one and end on a high note? This is terrible.
She makes it sad. I was walking with my girl like a week and a half ago, and she goes, I don't know if she's from Lakewood, Ohio, and she goes, my neighborhood is known for one thing. We take Halloween very seriously, yes. And so I was like, okay, I didn't think anything of it. And the next day, while I was on set, she forwarded me a picture. It was in Complex Magazine from this house in Lakewood, Ohio.
Ohio, okay.
I don't know if we have it. But it's a really cool layout.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, so you can see there's a gigantic skeleton throwing the coronavirus at people running away from it, and that's in their front yard. And if you look at the top, there's people panic buying up on the second floor.
Dude.
So when she said that they take it seriously, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, you guys aren't playing.
No, that's a slow clap.
Because there's some neighborhoods that take Christmas seriously, and like the whole block does it. So
when you can get a shopping cart on your second floor, like bravo to Lakewood, Ohio.
You guys know that I take Halloween really seriously. Unfortunately, I won't be in the office this year to be another Missy Elliott, which I'm sure I can show you guys later. But
that's right. That was my favorite moment of.
We'll flash back to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll hopefully get something in the credits for us to see. Coming up on DBL, Erica chats with the newest Real Housewife of New York.
Me?
No, you're not a woman or a housewife. Eboni K. Williams, how she's getting along with the rest of the cast. Take a look.
It's no secret that people are really anticipating, World War III with me and Ramona Singer.
Welcome back to DBL. Eboni K. Williams is shaking up the cast of The Real Housewives of New York. Now, that was my exercise for the day, as the show's first black housewife. Earlier, she told Erica what we can expect from the upcoming season in today's Chatting with the Stars.
You are officially a member of the New York Housewives. You're also the first black cast member, which is pretty incredible given the diversity of the city. Now, do you feel a pressure to hold yourself to a different standard than the other cast members, especially in wake of all the controversy that's happening right now with the black cast of Real Housewives of Potomac?
I tried to vow, Erica, before I went into broadcast. You know, my background is as a trial attorney. I was a criminal defense attorney for many years. And when I decided to go into broadcasting, first in talk radio and then eventually into television, I just said that I always wanted to do my race proud. Does that mean I'm perfect and I'm constantly showing up as perfection? No. But my goal is to show up with black excellence every day. And I attempt to do that with what's going on with Potomac. I'm a fan of the Potomac franchise. So it breaks my heart to see our sisters at odds. But I cannot and would never pass judgment on that because that's reality.
Now, as far as Real Housewives of New York, I am a Bravo-holic, okay? So I was there for every single shot, cocktail, even the rosé with the splash of Coke in it with Sonia. But a lot of people were very quick to criticize the amount of drinking that happened on the franchise. How do you feel about the way that they like to party, and how will you fit into that mix?
Well, listen, Erica, everybody last I checked was grown, okay? You'll see a lot of things play out on this upcoming season. As you know, we've already started taping. In terms of the women in this friend group having awareness and making choices as it relates to their alcohol consumption. And I think I'm gonna leave it right there.
No, honey, it's all vodka.
Despite the pandemic, you guys are together. Were there any one person on the cast that you were already friends with before taping?
Well, before taping started, I started hanging out with Leah McSweeney off camera. And Leah and I are just a vibe. And Luann is somebody who I've just kind of seen in the city for several years now. We've been in fundraisers together, in social circles together.
Now, I also need to ask you, who did you not connect with and why did you choose Ramona? No, I'm just kidding.
Damn. It's no secret that people are really anticipating, World War III with me and Ramona Singer. But I actually think Ramona and I are gonna surprise some people.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out, because depending on how it plays out with you, I may change my mind about Ramona, but only vicariously through you. So,
welcome to Holding Court.
Explain to our audience what Holding Court is and how they'll get to know you a little bit better through your podcast.
So Holding Court with Eboni K. Williams is an opportunity to take these legal headlines that we're talking about right now, whether it's George Floyd, the first episode of the podcast, Breonna Taylor, Make It Make Sense. Holding Court goes behind the legal curtain, behind the headline, and it makes people be able to understand it. It's one thing to know what's happening, Erica, and we all know what the headlines say. But Holding Court breaks it down to what I call the nitty-gritty.
Thank you so much for joining us on DBL today. And DBL Nation, check out Eboni K. Williams. You want to know her a little bit better, and she's going to break it down for you. So make sure that you check out Holding Court with Eboni K. Williams. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Erica.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
open enrollment starting, and we're chatting about this year's changes in this DBL Health Alert. First, the pandemic shouldn't have a huge impact on prices going up. Health plan prices are remaining pretty stable. Second, this year expect to have more insurers to choose from. Many have expanded into new counties and have new plans. So do your research before picking the right plan for you. To find the best and most cost-effective Medicare Advantage plan, call 1-800-800-9974. That's good to know.
It's a good idea. And like, if you don't understand anything, just type in whatever you don't understand, and somebody's asked that question before.
Totally.
So
and it's okay to not understand. We'll be here same time, same place tomorrow. We're new every day.